Hello everyone, my name's Almond Butter, and today I'm gonna be showing you how I make FNF sprite sheets without using like Flash or whatever normal people use to make sprite sheets. As you guys might already know, I made my own FNF mod called versus Ellie a few months, not a few months ago, just a month ago. And in that, the only animation program I used was Flip-a-Clip. So this is going to be showing you guys how I usually make sprite sheets. So for this, you're going to need a photo editing software. What I'm using right now is GIMP. You'll also need a notepad. The normal notepad you usually have on your computer usually works fine, but I'm going to be using Notepad++ for this, just to make it easier. And of course, you need to animate your own sprites. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using this like animations I made for for Capsule Sir Topham Hatt. So yeah, you also need this template for the XML file. I'm probably gonna put it in a Google Drive on this video's description. So make sure you get this. Let me show you this. This template is really from Daddy Dearest's animations, but I tweaked some things. Like I made all of the arrow notes 11 frames, and made the animation, the idle animation 13. I find that works best for me, but you can also tweak this however way you want. Maybe you can add some more frames or something like that. This is just what I find to be best for me. So first, what we're gonna need to do is, of course, open the animations, the GIF on GIMP. As you can see, it's gonna put all of the frames in one, like this. Now, just to make things simpler, I'm going to, since this uses a lot of repeated frames, I'm going to delete some of the frames that aren't used, like all of the repeated ones. So let me just Alright, so that should do it. Let's make sure all the frames are visible. Alright, so now there are a couple ways you can use to, well, actually, hold on, let me make a new thing for the sprite sheet. Yeah, so you probably need to make it, you can be very what's the word called, you can be very generous with how you put the canvas size for this. You can shrink it when you're done anyways. So let's go for a pretty big one. Let's do this, and let's add alpha channel just to make it transparent. There we go. Now, so to make, there's a few ways you can do to make to put these sprites into the sprite sheet. Now I've made some sprite sheets before, and all of them, not all of them, but a few of them use different like techniques to do it. Like for this one, I just use all of the sprites like as they are here, like with the borders, the borders as they are, and then I just put them right next to, like, I just put them close to each other, and then I'll adjust while editing the XML file. For this, not this one. For this one, I put the different animations, like for the idle, the up, up, down, left, right. I put the I made sure that each of them for the frames have like the same border, so in the XML file it'll be easier. And for this one, I just made all of the frames the same, like the same with the same borders, like the same can the same size of the canvas. As you can see, all of them are basically the same square. Now, for this tutorial, I'm going to be using this technique because just to make things easier. So to do that, I'm gonna go to this one. As you can see, all of the frames are. Make sure all of the frames are visible. Just so they'll have this. Just so when we do this, when we go to images, fit canvas to layers. As you can see, it's gonna shrink it to the size of all the sprites. And for this, we're going to click on here and layer to image size. So as you can see, the borders extend to the edges of the canvas. So make sure you do it for every single one of them. Let me do that real quick. Alright, so now that we've done this, we can start putting the individual animations in there. Let's start with the idle. Oh yeah, but so this is gonna be with how I make the animations. So how I made the animations is basically like Ellie here. We have 4 frames for the idle, and we have 3 frames for each arrow keys. So as you can see, for the idle, and then for up, down, left, right, all that kind of jazz. So if you're gonna be using more frames for the different animations, you're gonna have to adjust yourself. Like how on these ones, like on how I made for Animdo. As you can see, this one has 6 and 6 for the idle and 2 for the animations. And this one has 8 for the idle. So yeah, just adjust when you have different frames for the animation. But now let's try and put the let's start from the idle. Let's just copy this, and then we'll paste it here. So as you can see, it's there. Oh, this is gonna be yeah. Well, actually no. I think this is all right. I think the canvas is all right. We can shrink it later. So let's make sure he's placed correctly. Yep, that's good. And then we'll have to do it for the other sprites. Also, by the way, if you can actually use like more complex animations. I'm just using Sir Topham Hatt because it's the easiest for now for this tutorial. So yeah, make sure the edges of the borders are like the the place they are, just so it doesn't take that much space. All right, so we have the sprite sheet done, and I think we should be able to just edit the XML file after this. First, we need to save it though. Also, we need to export it. Okay, now that we already have that, hold up, let me. Okay, so now that we have that, we should just be able to edit the XML file. So okay, we have the sprite sheet now here, and now let's go to the template, which I think I already have. Yeah, I already have it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, you'll need to make sure the image patch thing here is set to the right image name. So as you can, so I named the image Topham, so I'll have to do that. And yeah, now we need to, well, I'll need to tell you guys what all of these mean. So this is the this is gonna be like the corner of the frame. So for this idle, since this came from one of my other sprite sheets, it starts from, of course, the idle. The idle starts from the first frame on the first corner, which is here. It's gonna be the top left corner. It's gonna start at the top left corner. So you'll have to make it at 0 if you're gonna be doing it like me. So, and the width and height is gonna be it's gonna be the width and height of the frame of the frame. So as you can see, this for the sprite sheet before, the width was this, and yeah, so we're gonna have to find out what the width of these ones are. So since every single one of these are the same, we should be able to use the same width and height for every single frame. So if we go to here, layer, and then go to layer boundary site, we can find out the width and height of the layers. So the width for here for the sprites here are 611 and 804. So let's just put that in the XML file. And these are the offsets for the frame, for the individual frame. If you're using Psych Engine, you can adjust the offsets for the animations, but if you're gonna change the offset for each frame, you're gonna have to do it here. So yeah, if you're gonna be doing it like how I did with Ellie or my other character, you're gonna have to change the offsets there a bit. So yeah, make sure you adjust when you're doing that. So yeah, let's just to make it easier, let's since every single one of the frames are the same width and height, let's just copy and paste it to every single one of them. Alright, so now let's try and do the animations. So since the width is 611, so that means the frame next to it, which is this, is gonna be on the 611th pixel. So I'll have to change it to that for these. And and the rest goes for the other ones too. So after this, 611 plus 611 would be 1222, and the same goes for here too, which will be 1888 if I'm not mistaken. Now this should be all right. So yeah, all you need to do is do the rest for the other ones. Well, I should probably make an example for the when it goes down here. So what you're gonna want to do is this. Okay, so what I find is putting the first frame putting the first frame with 3 frames is good for me, because when the characters like do repeated notes like jacks or something, or just do like or stairs, they'll if I used to use 4, but as it turns out, if you use 4, the first frame is gonna be a bit too long. So when you're doing like jacks or stairs and stuff, where then you get like repeatedly gets notes, it's gonna be stuck on that frame a bit too for a bit too long. So 3 is usually enough to make the animations look a lot better. So since this is of course, since it's in the bottom of the first frame, the X is gonna be 0, and the Y is gonna be what the height was, which is 100. Oh, I mean 804. Oh yeah, and I'll also the width and the here too. I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna put it on for every single one, since like I said, they all have the same width and height. I should probably say this, even though I feel like it's already pretty obvious. This is not the most effective or the most like this isn't the best way to make a sprite sheet, but it is how I do it, and it's like so far it's going pretty good for me. Like with this method, especially with like how you make the sprite sheets like this with all of the frames with the same like boundary size, it's gonna be a pretty big image. Like look this whole sprite sheet is 233 megabytes. Okay, so as you can see, this is already like this. So yeah, you'll just have to do it for the rest. Alright, so I think we should be good here. Let's just save it. And now let's just let's try and put this in the in Psych Engine. So what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna have to go to the mods folder, go to images, characters, and put your sprite sheet and XML file in there. Let's rename this to Topham. And let's see if this is correct. That should be fine. So let's boot up Psych Engine to test this out. Now what you're gonna need to do, I accidentally used the, hold up, I think I need to update my Psych Engine real quick. Okay, this should be the correct version. Yep, it is. So what you're gonna want to do in this is press 7 on the main menu, which is gonna take you here, and you're gonna go to the character editor. As you can see, it's gonna start off with this. What you want to do is you're gonna have to go to Dad, and you're gonna go to here and put in the name of your character, in this case Topham. As you can see, as you can see, it's not really centered, but you can center it yourself in, like, in here. As you can see, with all of these controls here, you can move the camera with JKLI, and you can adjust the offset with the arrow keys. So yeah, let's try and fix the offsets for them. Okay, now we should be able to save this character. Now you can make your own icons here. I'll probably, I don't know, you can find other tutorials on how to make characters. You can, like, find out how to make icons and stuff. For this, I'm just gonna use the default Dad, just because I'm too lazy to make an icon for Sir Topham Hatt. I might make it later though. So you'll just go to save character and go to mods and go to characters and name this the name of your character. So for this case, we'll name him Topham. Alright, so since we already saved it, I think it's safe to go back here. And now let's test out the character. Let's go to Dad Battle, which is probably one of my favorite FNF songs from the base game. Let's go here, and if we go here, we should be able to get Topham. Yep. Now let's test him out.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yep, he's there. Let's see how the animations look. Yep. It looks as how you would expect a fucking Capsule Sir Topham Hatt to look like in an FNF game. Right, so that's how you do it. Now, if I missed something, I might put it in the comments or maybe in the description. So make sure you look out for that. But other than that, that should wrap it up for how I make a sprite sheet for FNF without using Flash. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I wonder what I'm gonna use for the outro for this video. We'll see.
And I put my